Hello students, the last time we have studied in this chapter about the physics. Actually in physics there are so many topics are there. In 11th standard first of all we have to study about the fundamental forces because of which all the physical phenomena are governed. So let us see as given in your textbook. There are the four fundamental forces in nature. One is gravitational force, second is electromagnetic force, third is strong nuclear force, and fourth is the weak nuclear force. First we discuss about the gravitational force. So here you can see that definition of gravitational force. Actually you have studied in lower standard. The gravitational force is always be exerting between any two objects in the universe, and the statement for it have been given by the Newton's law of gravitation. So gravitational force is a universal force and every object in the universe experiences this force due to other objects. What is the statement for it? So according to Newton's universal law of gravitation, the mutual attractive force acting between two objects is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. In short, you can write, because of these two massive objects M1 and F2 separated by distance small r, larger be the masses, larger be the force between them, because this force is directly proportional to the product of their masses, and it is inversely proportional to square of the distance. So larger be the distance, smaller be the force. Smaller be the distance, larger be the force, because F is proportional to 1 upon r square. So combined equation is F equal to G into M1 M2 upon r square. So this is the equation of gravitational force, and this gravitational force is always be attractive force. It never be repulsive, and that's why we remember this force is only because of the virtue of the masses. Because of mass of the object, the force is there. So this force is due to the virtue of the masses of the objects. Then there are certain properties regarding this force. Which properties are there? Number one, it is a long range force. What is the meaning of long range force? If you take one object here, another object is in the USA, then also in between them there will be a force of attraction. Depending on distance, it will be a more or it will be a less. Then second one is, it does not require any medium between two objects. If you take two objects in vacuum, the force is there. If you take two objects in medium like a transparent medium, water medium, air medium, mica medium, then also in between them there will be a force is there. Then third one is, it is the weakest force of the nature. Out of four fundamental forces, this force is weak in value. Even though it is weakest, it playing a most important role in forming the major physical phenomena or natural phenomena. And that's why we remember it is weakest force of the nature, yet it is most important for most of the physical or natural phenomena occurring in nature. Then the fourth one. Now, as you know, on the full moon day, there will be the tides in the seas there, and these tides due to what reason? So these tides in the sea are believed due to gravitational force between the moon and the earth. So as the moon is attracting the water of the earth, or it just leaving, then because of which the tides are occurring. So the tides in the sea are believed due to gravitational force between the moon and the earth. Then most phenomena due to gravitational forces, as we know, surrounding the sun. The planets are revolving. The earth is revolving surrounding the sun is there, as well as the satellites are revolving surrounding the earth. So this is due to what? So this is due to gravitational forces. So here the motion of satellites around the earth, motion of the planets around the sun, as well as the formation and evolution of the stars and galaxies in the universe, as well as the formation of the universe, etc. due to what? Due to gravitational forces there. Now let us see the next important force. It is electromagnetic force. Actually, it is combination of two forces. One is electric force, another is magnetic force. But these two forces are commonly known as electromagnetic force. So here, this electromagnetic force. What is the electromagnetic force? We remember it is a force acting between two charged particles. If the charged particles are at rest, then the force between them is electrostatic force or electric force. But if the charged particles are in motion, where they could be in motion? So they may be in motion in conducting wire. And when these charges are flowing through conducting wire, then they are generating electric current. Due to electric current surrounding it, magnetic field is generating. And due to this magnetic field, the magnetic force is arising. So if the charges are stationary, then between them electric force. If the charges are in motion, then on moving charges, the magnetic force is there. So depending on the situation of the charges, depending on the virtue of position of the charges, either electric force or magnetic force. That's why you can say commonly it is an electromagnetic force. So let us see. The force acting between two charged particles is known as electromagnetic force. If this charged particle, as I have said, when the charged particles are at rest, then the force between them is known as static electric force. And magnitude of the static electric force is given by Coulomb's law. This Coulomb's law actually you will study in details in 12th standard. And statement of Coulomb's law is just like as Newton's universal law of gravitation. So here I have written only with the formula. And this formula may be exerting between two stationary charges like Q1 and Q2 is directly proportional to Q1 Q2. Larger with the charges, larger with the force. Smaller with the charges, smaller with the magnitude of force. And it is inversely proportional to square of distance. So larger with the distance, smaller with the force. Smaller with the distance, larger with the force, that is proportional to R square. So electrostatic force is given by K Q1 Q2 upon R square, where K is Coulomb's constant and R is the distance between charges. So you can write also the statement of Coulomb's law like that. Newton's universal law of gravitation. So what could be the statement? The statement is like this one. The electrostatic force exerting between two stationary point charges is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Then depending on the type of the charges, if both the charges are positive, then in between them repulsive force. Both the charges are negative, again in between them repulsive force. But if one positive charge, another negative charge, then in between them there will be attractive force. Means for like charges, either both positive or negative, the force is repulsive. And for unlike charges, one positive, one negative, that means unlike charges, the force is attractive. Now, as I said earlier, if these charges are in motion in a conducting wire, then what could happen? Surrounding conducting wire, due to motion of the charges in conducting wire, current is generated, and due to current surrounding, the magnetic field is generated, and they produces magnetic field. And this magnetic field now produces a force on moving charges, which is called magnetic force. And thus, in physics, you will study later on electric field produces magnetic field. Magnetic field produces electric field. So electric field and magnetic field are not separable in physics. And that's why the combined name of this force, or you can say the combined effect of these forces, is known as what? Electromagnetic force. Which are the properties? So again the properties are there, same like as Newton's universal law of gravitation or gravitational force. Let us see. Number one. Now we remember, it is a long range force. So again, if one charge here, second charge far away from it, then also in between them there will be a force. So this force is a long range force and it does not require any medium. If you take the charges in vacuum, the force is there. If you take the charge in medium, then also the force is there. So here there is no requirement of the medium is there. But if medium is there, then the value of the force will change. If the two charges in vacuum, one value of force. If the two charges are in any medium, then there will be another value of the force. It means this force depends on the type of the medium present between the two charges. Then it is a very strong compared to the gravitational force. So out of the four fundamental forces, this one force is strong one compared to gravitational force. How much it is stronger? So let us see. For example, the electrostatic force between two stationary protons. It means if you say this one proton, this is another proton, r distance is there. According to this equation, you determine the force, electric force. Thereafter, you replace in the charges by masses. That means using the formula Fg equal to G into mpm p upon r square. So you can determine gravitational force. Putting the value of the charges of the proton, you can determine electric force. So you get the electric force, get gravitational force, get the ratio. The electric force upon gravitational force, if you take, you will find its value is 10 raised to 36. It means what? For example, the electric force between two stationary protons is 10 raised to 36 times the gravitational force between them. So one can be now it can be written as Fe equal to 10 raised to 36 upon Fg, where Fg is given by G into mpm p upon r square and Fe is written by K into Q square upon r square. Q is the charge on the proton and it is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Okay.